The Mirage here on the right was Steve Wynn's first casino on the Strip. This one totally redid the model of what hotels were supposed to look like. And on the left, look quickly, you have the Venetian, modeled after Venice, right there on the left. You can go in there and see the gondolas. They have canals built inside the actual hotel. And the Mirage here on the right is modeled after the South Pacific, so they have indoor waterfalls, aquariums, all kinds of fun stuff like that. And there's the Venetian on your left. Fantastic place. Very, very elaborately done, I must say. So Steve Wynn has divested himself of all of his hotel properties. He owned Treasure Island, he owned the Mirage, he owned several hotels in Old Las Vegas, as well as one or two that escape my memory now. And now he's just got the Wynn and the Encore. And coming up on the right, you will have probably one of the best known casino in Las Vegas, Caesars Palace. So Caesars Palace is the site of all kinds of unbelievable events. If you could go just a tad slower here, please. Yeah, not too much. The Forum shops here on the right, all kinds of, again, very elite shopping to be done. And you'll get an excellent view just as soon as we pass this little stop here. This is his place where Evel Knievel decided he was going to jump over some fountains, and he attempted it and broke nearly every bone in his body doing it.
Hey, I can go in there and back out if you want me to.
No,
the buses can do it.
I know. Well, no, we're not done yet. Thank you, Chair. So there is a plaque commemorating Evel Knievel and his feat of stupidity. On the right here, this is the Coliseum. This is newly built. Guess who performs in there? Celine Dion. Yes. That, my friends, is not owned by Caesars Palace. It's built on Caesars land. It's owned by Ticketmaster. Celine Dion has been paid $100 million for her 5-year contract, 2 shows a night in Las Vegas, and all Caesars wanted was a share of the gambling traffic. They didn't want to be paid anything from the ticket revenue whatsoever. So it's actually not the biggest hotel by room in Las Vegas, but the whole complex is so gigantic that it really makes it seem like it. Caesars Palace. So many hotel chains, in fact, have owned Caesars Palace at one time or another. The Sheraton has owned Caesars Palace, as has the Hilton. Very many. And I'm not quite sure who owns it now, but it's a small independent group that I haven't heard of. You can see that that tower from France. What's it called?
Eiffel Tower.
Oh yes, the Eiffel Tower. Sticking up out of there, and that is the Casino Paris. That's actually my favorite casino in Las Vegas. It's so elegantly done inside. One of the legs of the Eiffel Tower actually sticks into the casino. So when you're strolling around in there through those little designed French shops, the leg of the Eiffel Tower is right there with you. So you may notice any grammar, anybody who's especially interested in English grammar, that Caesar's Palace, there's no apostrophe before the S. And the reason for that is that in Caesar's Palace, every guest is a Caesar. And so it's your palace that you're there to enjoy. The Flamingo on the left here, again one of the older casinos. Some of them are likely to be swallowed up in the foreseeable future, but let's hope they stick around because there's a lot of history to them. This funny looking bus passing us right here on the left, this is the Bullet, as they call it. It's an emissions-free bus that goes up and down the Las Vegas Strip. And finally, after what feels like 20 minutes of waiting, the light has turned green. The traffic lights here are just
on. About Bugsy and Flamingo?
No.
Bugsy was a famous Mafia,
Okay.
and he had his suite in the
Oh,
Flamingo.
okay. On the left here, Valleys. This is the site. Oh, rats. Another half an hour now. The Valleys here on the left is the site of the original MGM Grand. This is also the site of the worst hotel fire in North American history. Some 80-odd people were killed in that tragedy. It was an electrical fire, so obviously they gutted the building, rebuilt it, and the MGM Grand has moved to a new location right across from where we're going to be at the Luxor. But this is where they used to be located. And you can get a better view of that funny tower now. Coming up on the right, when this light changes tomorrow, you'll be able to see the Bellagio. And the Bellagio set a new standard of elegance and refined gambling here in Las Vegas. Has anybody seen the movie Ocean's 11?
Yes.
Yep. So this was the casino that they robbed in the Ocean's 11 movie. The vault underneath the Bellagio. And the character in that movie of Terry Benedict, the casino mogul, was loosely based on the character of Steve Wynn. Jerry just mentioned to me the infamous mafioso Bugsy, who had his suite at the Flamingo that he stayed in. And yes, it's absolutely true. Much of Las Vegas was run exclusively by the mafia for a good many years. I would say up until the 1980s, things started to change. And you can credit, again, that Steve Wynn guy, who brought in transparency and helped kick organized crime out of here. So the casinos you see are more often than not, let's say, run by legitimate businesses.
The price of food was a lot cheaper back then.
Yeah, the price of food was a lot cheaper back then, and the slot machines had a tendency to pay out more. You may hear rumors or stories that slot machines must pay out a minimum of 90 cents on every dollar gambled, and this is true. This is true. However, most of that payout happens when one lucky guy hits the jackpot, and then every other sucker who puts in $20 gets nothing, like me. If you want to lose your money quickly in Vegas, go to a slot machine. My God. So out in front here on the right, you have the water show at the Bellagio. They set a piece of music to this fantastic water show. I strongly recommend checking that out. It happens every 20 minutes or so. Here's a good view of the Eiffel Tower on the left. To continue with that, with one jet of water in this water show, there's enough volume there to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Nevada has very strict water regulation rules, and in order to be able to fulfill those criteria, the Bellagio actually has to pump their water in from California to put on this show. And some people have asked me why, and the answer is because. Because we can, and so we will. This is also the site of the Cirque du Soleil show that takes place on a indoor, well, a pool is a bad way to put it, but inside on water, so the Cirque du Soleil show. There's Planet Hollywood on the left. Can't say I know too much about that. I think Hugh Hefner's ex-wife has some sort of fun show there, but I'm not sure. It's relatively new. So you notice these walkways over top. These are done so that you don't cross the street in front of traffic, but they're also done to funnel you in one casino and out the other. So if you want to walk up the strip, you'll be, at a certain point, you will have to get off the street and walk through Excalibur to get to Luxor and so forth. On your right here, this whole sprawling complex, this is actually the most expensive private development, at least in North America, $6 billion. This is called City Center. And there's a casino, there's condos, there's obviously very exclusive shops, all kinds of things to be found in there. And there's a long dispute taking place now with the developers and the owners about the construction costs and overruns. Again, I mentioned that Vegas has fallen on hard times. Sounds kind of funny, but a lot of the new construction projects have stalled. So the casinos are obviously built to keep you in and lost and with no sense of time. So when we do stop at the Luxor, please do stay close to me. The Monte